Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I hope you guys in good health. So today my group gonna discuss about nutritional content and characteristic of pumpkin cream soup of with tempeh addition has supplementary food for elderly. So my group member, which is me, Nur Afifah Najwa, Liana binti Charnaro, Nur Alia Adibah, Liana binti Rosli, and the last one is Siti Hajar. Without further ado, let's get to the presentation. So as you guys can see in the screen right now, on the screen right now is table of content that we proceed, which is we have introduction of topic, actor, and year. Abstract or call has a synopsis, research problem, objective of study, limitation of study, research question or issues, significance of study, some conceptual frameworks, organization of lecture review, research methodology, data collection procedure, data analysis procedure, summary of finding, and the last one is organization of report. Next. So we move to the topic after years. Okay, so the topic that we choose is nutrition content, then and characteristic of pumpkin cream soup with tempeh addition has supplementary for a dairy. This article is represented by actor, which is Budi Setiawan, Salma S. Aulia, Tirman Sinaga, and the last one is Ahmad Sulaiman. The article has received at 26 May 2021 and revised at 2 July 2021. Also got accepted at 3 August 2021 and be published at 17 August 2021 by Hindawi.com. Next. So we move to the abstract or synopsis. This study discussed that the processing type and tempeh addition in producing pumpkin cream soup affected the sensory value and nutritional content, especially for elderly. Generally, as we pass 65 years of age, which is elderly, our defense system, better known as an immune system, will be weak. So we are susceptible to disease. To prevent this from happening is the development of geriatric food such as cream soup that is made from pumpkin and tempeh, which is the one of food that can be considered to prevent this condition. Pumpkin cream soup with tempeh has an addition for the food, has an additional source of protein, along with high fiber vitamin B12 and vitamin A, which is really good for our health, not only to elderly, but also to the young people, especially for those who are undergoing a health diet. Pumpkin soup with tempeh are also called as a snake for elderly. So I pass to the next presenter. Please open your mic, Yana Samsudin.
Okay, for research problem, we found that the proportion of elderly is increasing rapidly, especially in the developed country. Okay, elderly people tend to be associated with sensorial, physical, and psychological change, and also age-related disease that may cause malnutrition. To prevent this malnutrition, the elderly need special treatment, especially in the achievement of nutrient. One of the solutions to meet their nutritional needs is expansion of supplement. Okay, next. Okay, objective. The purpose of this study was to analyze sensory properties, physical characteristics, nutritional content, contribution to nutrient needs, and acceptance level of cream soup by the elderly. Okay, I pass to the next presenter.
Limitation of study, fresh cream soup without the addition of tempeh had the highest acceptance rate than instant cream soup with the addition of 75 tempeh. The addition of too much tempeh 100% treatment tended to be disliked because it caused a pale color, created a bitter taste, and created an unpleasant aroma. The white color of tempeh was caused by spore germination and growth of the mycelium of Rhizopus, while the bitter taste and the unpleasant aroma of tempeh were attributed to the formation of hydrophobic peptides by the degradation of soy protein due to the activity of Rhizopus. Besides the addition of tempeh, the drying process also affected the sensory characteristic of cream soup. The high temperature could reduce the flavor and aroma of the product. Consequently, the instant cream soup had a low acceptance rate, presumably due to the high temperature of the drying process with a drum dryer. Second, the high yield of the product will increase its economic value but does not guarantee the quality. It is because the yield depends on the volume of swelling when the powder is rehydrated. Other physical analysis, such as product yield and rehydration ratio, only in instant cream soup, show that the A2BO formula had the highest yield, which was expected to be generated by the addition of rice flour. Second, the high water binding capacity of a product is due to a starch polymer structure, whereas low water binding capacity indicates structural cohesion. The molecular structure of the amylose and amylopectin also influence the rehydration ratio. Flour derived from low amylose rice, especially with a high amount of damaged starch, could increase water absorption and thereby increase the flavoring power of low amylose rice flour. Next is research question or issue. Why the addition of too much tempeh 100% treatment tended to be disliked? Because it caused the pale color, created a bitter taste, and created an unpleasant aroma. Why the yield depends on the volume of swelling when the powder is rehydrated. It is because the high water binding capacity of a product is due to a starch polymer structure, whereas low water binding capacity indicates structural cohesion. The molecular structure of amylose and amylopectin also influence the rehydration ratio. Flour derived from low amylose rice, especially with a high amount of damaged starch, could increase water absorption and thereby increase the flavoring power of low amylose rice flour. Why is pumpkin cream soup with tempeh addition recommend dietary allowance for the elderly? This cream soup recommend dietary allowance for the elderly in terms of protein, carbohydrates, fat, energy, dietary fiber, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, and vitamin A, so it can be recommended as a complementary food for the elderly. Next is significance of study. This research will provide a new insight into the benefits of pumpkin and tempeh, specifically on the ability to preventive measures against various diseases related to cognitive impairment to the elderly. Through the research, the community will be more aware to eat healthy foods, especially cream soup. This cream soup is not only for the elderly, but children and teenagers can also enjoy the dish. Cream soup is great to be developed into geriatric food. Based on the benefits of pumpkin and tempeh for the elderly's health, the development of pumpkin cream soup with addition of tempeh was considered as an excellent option. Moreover, the analysis presented in this study will convey valuable information for future research that will explore more nutritious recipe regarding cream soup that contains many nutrients such as micronutrients and micronutrients. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, next, conceptual framework. First, find the appropriate method, and then second, correct a protocol for the study. And then third, sensory analysis. The aim of the test was to evaluate the preference level for the sample in terms of texture, color, aroma, taste, mouthfeel, thickness, and all over. 4. Physical characterization. In terms of physical characterization, pH was measured using a pH meter, and yield was calculated based on the presence of weight between the cream soup powder and the cream soup prior to drying. And then 5. Analysis of water and ash content. Moisture content was determined by drying the sample on an over at 105 degrees Celsius to a constant weight for about 3 hours. The ash content was determined by incinerating a sample in a muffle furnace at 550 degrees Celsius for 5 hours. Protein content was conducted using the Keldysh method. Meanwhile, fats content was determined by the salt slag extract method. And then 6. Analysis of dietary fiber content result. Dietary fiber was analyzed based on the S et al. Metals as a fat-free sample was analyzed using terminal enzyme, pepsin, and pectrin. 7. Analysis of vitamin B12 and B6 content. Okay, vitamin B6 and B12 was analyzed according to the Keller method with the high performance liquid chromatography reverse fat HPLC RP. And the last one, conclusion of the experiment. Next.
For the organization of the literature review, the introduction used several references materials such as books and journals. For example, a journal by Rosemary Tong, Long-Term Care for Elderly People Globally. And for the materials and method, several references also used, such as journals, ebooks, and books. Next slide. Thank you. For the research methodology, the method used are study design and cream soup formulation. This study was an experimental research using factorial random design that combines the type of processing cream soup and addition of tempeh. Then physical characteristic analysis. In terms of physical characterization, pH was measured using a pH meter. Then sensory analysis. Sensory evaluation was applied on 6 cream soup formulas using a rating test and ranking test out of 35 semi-trained panelists. Then proximate analysis. Material moisture content was determined by drying the samples in an oven over 150 100 and 105 degree Celsius to a constant weight for about 3 hours. Then dietary fiber analysis. Dietary fiber was analyzed based on the ASP ETL method as fat-free. Sample was analyzed using terminal enzyme, pepsin, and pancreatin. Then vitamin B6 and B12 analysis. Vitamin B6 and B12 were analyzed according to the Keller method with the high performance liquid chromatography reverse phase HPLC-RP. Then B-carotene analysis. The analysis used the AOAC method with the HPLC-RP. Then the acceptance analysis. The acceptance analysis was applied to one formula with a good sensory value and high nutritional value. Then the statistical analysis. Sensory data, physical characteristics, and nutrient content were analyzed using ANOVA test with a Duncan multiple range test, while acceptance data were analyzed using the percentage and descriptive method. Okay, move on to the next person.
Okay, for data collection procedure, sensory analysis, they use assessment test. Sensory evaluate was applied on 6 cream soup formula using a rating test and a ranking test out of 35 semi-trained panelists. On a scale of 1 to 9, 1 for extremely disliked to 9 for extremely liked. Ranking tests were performed by presenting the entire sample and asking the panelists to score the sample on a scale of 1 to 6. 1 for the most preferred sample to 6 for the less preferred sample. Attributed to texture, color, aroma, taste, mouthfeel, thickness, and all over. Next. Okay, data analysis procedure review. If you can see, this is figure 1, figure 1A and 1B. The subjects in this test were aged 60 to 95 years. 60 to 69 years include 55 youngest old. And then for 70 to 79 years is 14 middles old, and 6 older old is 8 years of 8 males and 67 females. In the overall preferences level, the youngest all and middles all have high score than the oldest all. Okay, for figure 1A, for the figure 1A, in the test perimeter score, the oldest have a different result. Uh, uh, a different result compared to the youngest all and the middle all. The older all has a lower second score, the lowest score, then the youngest all have the middle all. And then for the figure 1b, based on the data figure 1b, the expected level for consuming one serving size product is about 60 product is about 56.36% in the youngest all and 57.14% in the middle all, and the last 14.28% in the oldest all. The older all has a low acceptance rate than the youngest all and middle all. Next.
For the summary of finding, the finding was the processing type and tempeh addition in producing pumpkin cream soup affected the sensory value and nutritional content. Cream soup fulfill 10% of Indonesian RDA for energy, fat, and fiber, and can be well received as a snack by the elderly. Then pumpkin cream soup with tempeh addition can be used as a supplementary food in a nutrition status improvement program for the elderly. See, pass to the next person. Thank you.
So this is the last part that we proceed, which is organization of report. So the study was conducted and led by Bogor Agricultural University Indonesia, which is IPB, has represented by Dr. Budi Setiawan, B.S. Salma S. Aulia, which is SA, Cuman Sinaga TS, and lastly is Ahmad Sulaiman AS. So IPB is an innovative research university which got a lot of reward, but the most award he has the most informative university in the category of information transparency to the public in 2018 from the Commission of Center Information, the Republic of Indonesia. So IPB also strictly adheres to a research integrity and independent available upon request. The scope of research at IPB includes in the agriculture, includes food, crop, horticulture, plantation, marine fishing, livestock, and forestry. IPB research has represented by Dr. BS, DS, SA, and AS developed the concept, provide the top line suggestion to the draft analysis plan, and critically review the manuscript for clarity and completeness. The research does not directly relate to any patent, marketed product, no product in developed at IPB University. The affiliation of author do not alter our adherence to the +1 policy and on sharing data and material. Next. So thank you so much for watching us. Don't forget to like and give us huge thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friend for more information from us. and I'm really grateful because my group member is really do a good job, and I appreciate that. And thank you so much for watching. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Bye.